Good morning, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. I welcome you to Temple Beth Ohr. I'm Rabbi Mark Goldfarb, joined by our cantor, Ariel Goldfarb, our accompanist, Dr. Ray Irwin, and of course, one who needs no introduction to you, our Bar Mitzvah boy today, Ted Lavoot. We join in great happiness and joy with the Lavoot clan and the extended family and friends who join with us this day. It is not usually the case that our bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah person comes to us with age and experience. But this morning we have the opportunity to welcome and participate in exactly that. Ted celebrating 83 years of life on this planet. A tradition is growing now that once you reach 70, the rabbis understood that 70s was a great time, and so 83 is the new 13. When you add 70 to 13 there, you get 83, and so bada bing, bada bang, a second Bar Mitzvah or Bat Mitzvah. By the way, an open invitation to any of the congregants of Temple Beth Ohr celebrating anywhere near 83, or you just want to, by all means, the bima is yours. Speak to me and we will work out arrangements, and you can do as much or a little, whatever is comfortable for you. Before we begin our service, let's take this opportunity to take a look at our cell phones and other devices of communications. Let's make sure they are switched to the off and the silent position so that we might share this time without interruption. Shabbat is our opportunity to gain some perspective in our life, to get some distance from all the clutter that is around us. The problems of the world will always be there. They will continue to be there. As we read our Bible and as we study history, we find the problems of today have echoes from problems in the past and in the past and in the past. We keep repeating history, which of course can only mean one thing. We haven't learned from it. And so we want to spend some time on Shabbat learning from our past. And so I invite us to take this opportunity to do exactly that. Distance ourselves from these problems so we can gain some perspective, renewed insight, and then emerge Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, back ready to engage the world and all of its issues. I know we are so used to living in modern times where everything is captured on film and on our cell phones. I'm happy to say the Lavoot family is arranged for not only live streaming of this morning's service, and we welcome those of you out in the Ethernet world of the internet who are able to join us via our YouTube page. I'm grateful to David Youngman, our captain video for the day. Philip Carey has helped organize a wonderful, sophisticated system for us. The service will as well be saved on our YouTube webpage, where you can go and revisit all the exciting moments of the Ted Lavoot Bar Mitzvah experience. So I invite us instead to be fully present in the now. We'll leave our cell phones and our cameras aside. We will instead experience this moment, and we will take the pictures with our mind's eye and camera there. The Lavoot family will gladly make this video available for purchase. Cost and proceeds to go to the Ted Lavoot Retirement Fund. So if you want a souvenir video of this morning's occasion, speak with Ted and Terry afterwards. Indeed, following our service, we are all invited to share in a little Kiddush reception in our social hall immediately to the rear. Ted will lead us in the Kiddush and the Motzi here before we recess to our social hall. I believe those are all the announcements. Oh, one final one. In your prayer books, you will see that the Hebrew has been transliterated, phonetically spelled out in the English. I want you to know that that is not the prayer book that Ted is using. Ted's prayer book only contains the English and the Hebrew. Otherwise, where would the fun be of being able to lead us in worship service if you could just read the phonetic pronunciation of the Hebrew? So I always announce that with our younger students. I want you to know that in this case as well. Ted will be reading from the Hebrew entirely, and of course the English, which you will recognize. Your prayer books are located under the seat in front of you, or those of you brave enough to sit in the front row, under your front row seats, you will find prayer books positioned there for you as well. Cantor, I believe we have an opening song this morning. We begin in our prayer books on page 10, where we find the words to our opening song. Those of you unfamiliar with our Hebrew prayer books, you'll open them the English way and find you're at the end. No, we're not at the end of the service, just it opens the other way because Hebrew is a language that is read from right to left, and our prayer books open in that direction as well. On page 10, words from Psalms, Hine ma tov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. How wonderful and beautiful it is when we see each other as brothers and sisters able to dwell together. Hine ma tov. I invite Marty and Rhonda Zwern to join us on the bima and help us open our ark doors as we begin our morning worship service. As they make their way forward, I invite us to rise as we are able. Ribono Shel Olam, creator of the universe, we gather on this day dedicated to creation, to love, and to shalom, peace. As we gather on this Shabbat morning, we are grateful for the blessings with which we have been bestowed. Most of all, we are grateful to join with Ted Lavoot in celebrating his 83 years of life in your world by becoming a Bar Mitzvah again. And as he prepares to lead us in worship service, we join with the Lavoot family in their pride at Ted's accomplishment and look forward to learn from a Bar Mitzvah, one with experience to share with us about our world. We are grateful to you, O God, to be partners with you in the process of creation. May we use this special day set aside to acknowledge creation and our role in creation and use our gifts and talents wisely. May we always share of what we have with those who are in need, and may we always remember to bring peace wherever we go. And let us all say, Amen. We may be seated. I invite for a special presentation Ted's son, Howard Lavoot.
Welcome all friends and family to my dad's second bar mitzvah. It gives me great pleasure to present his talit to wear on his bar mitzvah day and a talit bag, and he can put his yarmulke as well. And just like you did for me the other day? No, couple years ago here at this temple. in a different part of the room. It gives me great pleasure to present you this talit to wear on your Bar Mitzvah day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivonu l'hateh b'tzitzis.
Congratulations.
As I wrap myself in the talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Bless Adonai, O my soul, Adonai, my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, enwrapping yourself in a light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Again, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, v'kiddushanu v'tzivanu l'hateh b'tzitzis. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who calls us to holy acts through mitzvot and inspires us to wrap ourselves in the fringes. Service continues on page 66. Each of us enter the sanctuary with a different need. Some hearts are full of peace and gratitude, overflowing with love and joy. They are eager to confront the day to make the world a better place. They are recovering from illness or escape from misfortune. We rejoice with them. Some hearts ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily upon them. Families have been broken. Loved ones lie in a bed of pain. Death has taken a cherished loved one. May our presence and caring bring them forth comfort. Some hearts are embittered, ideals and betrayed and mocked, answers is sought in vain. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we, too, are searching to restore their hope and renew our faith. And we continue on page 74. Matovu olecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael, va'ani baro chaska, avo veistecha. We'll read responsively. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel.
I, through your
Through
abundant love,
enter your house. I bow down in your holy temple. Adonai, I love your temple abode, the dwelling place of your glory.
I will humbly bow down low before Adonai, my Savior.
As for me, my prayer comes to you, Adonai, at a favorable time. O God, in your abundant faithfulness, answer me with your sure deliverance. And we'll continue on page 78.
שמרו בקרבי. אלוהי, אלוהי, נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא.
We continue on page 79. Matter is never destroyed, only transformed. So too can the soul evolve higher and higher, from instinct to inspiration, haughtiness to holiness, selfishness to service, from individualism to union, to join with the souls of souls, the Infinite One. As the soul is magnified and sanctified, so is the Infinite One exalted. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu kol nefesh kol chai, baruch kol b'shar ish. Our service continues on page 81. Responsively, I can stay the tears of others if I can see myself as a diminished of their sorrows.
I can hasten time when everyone will be able to rejoice in freedom.
And if I can see myself as the companion of those fighting against oppression,
I can honor the struggle of people everywhere to gain dignity and deliverance from bondage.
when I look at myself in the mirror, who will I see? Continue on page 85, responsively. I am a Jew because my faith demands of me no abdication of the mind.
I am a Jew because devotion of my heart.
I am a Jew because the world of the people Israel is the oldest and the newest.
I am a Jew because
Universal promise.
I am a Jew because for Israel the world is not completed, we are completing it.
I am a Jew because for Israel humanity is not created, we are creating it.
I am a Jew because Israel places humanity and its unity above the nations and above Israel itself.
I am a Jew because above humanity, image of the divine unity, Israel places the unity which is divine.
We are seekers of God. How do we find you? In good deeds and in the study of Torah and your search for us. You find us in the bending of the knee, in the rigor of study, in the honesty of commerce, through a good heart, through decency, in respect, true fellowship, companionship, and love, though truth and peace in the no that is really no, and the yes is really yes. Baruch atah Adonai, hamalach Torah li'amo Yisrael. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shiru, she'adam ochel perotehem be'olam hazeh, v'ha'keret kayemet lo la'olam haba ve'elu hein. These are things that are limitless, of the which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, and when the principle remains in the world to come. And we'll say together,
They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of
the Torah encompasses them all. Service continues on page 100.
Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Our service continues on page 106 with the words to our Chatzi Kaddish. Our service continues on page 108. I invite us to rise as we are able for our Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
We continue on page 110. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotze or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei el et hakol hameir la'aretz la'ad dorim oleha barachamim uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tomid ma'aseh bereshis Ma rabo ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chachma osichra mola ha'aretz kin yadnecha tit borech Adonai Eloheinu al Shabbat ma'aseh yadecha v'al morei or she'ar tzita v'ar rucha selah or chadosh al Zion tamid ta'ir Beniz ke kulanu mehera laharot. Baruch atah Adonai yotzei hamarot. Continue on page 112. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with your surpassing compassion. On account of our forebearers whose trust led you to teach to them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us well as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe and perform and fulfill all that is in your Torah.
The higher. It's early.
Our fault, a last-minute substitution. It's okay.
והאמיננו בתורתך ודבקנו במצוותיך ויחל לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך ולא לבוש ולא לגלם ולא לגשם לעולם ועד כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא מה תאכלו נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך.
Our service continues on page 113. Responsively, once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard Lecha, Lecha, go forth.
God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are.
Baruch we don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. Baruch atah Adonai, habochar v'yamol Yisrael v'yahava.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol ma'odecha v'hayu habarim ha'elu asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shirantam lebanecha v'divarta bam v'shiftecha b'veitecha u'leftecha v'aderech u'shafechumach u'vkumecha u'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafos bein einecha Usatom al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha le'aman tizkadru va'asitem et kol mitzvotah v'hi yatem kadoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti eschem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lochem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Continue on page 117 and read responsively. If we can hear the words from Sinai, then love will flow from us, and we shall serve all that is holy with all our intellect and our passion and our life.
If we can serve all that is holy, we shall be doing all that humans can to help the rains to flow, the grasses to be green, the grains to be golden like the sun, and the rivers to be filled with life once more.
All the children of God shall eat, and there will be enough. But if we turn from Sinai's words and serve only what is common and profane, making gods of our own comfort or power, then the holiness of life will contract for us. Our world will grow inhospitable.
Let us therefore lace these words into our passion and our intellect, and bind them as a sign upon our hands and eyes. Let us write them in mezuzot upon our doors, and teach them to our children. Let us honor
the generations that came before us, keeping the promise for those yet to be. We will continue on page 121 and read responsively. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Yisrael, uvdechinu mecha, Yehuda veYisrael, go aleinu, Adonai tzevaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
We continue with the words of our tefillah found on page 124 and following. I invite us to rise as we are able as we continue with the Amida portion of our worship service.
Baruch atah Adonai, Elohei ve'Elohei Avotenu, be'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ho'el Hagidol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, be'konei Hakol, ve'zocher Chasdei Avo, ve'imatot Umebi Geula Livnei V'nehem Laman Shemo B'Yahava Melech Hoser U'Mashiach Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Matgein Abraham Be'Esrach Serach Ator Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Lahoshia Modeim Hatel Kel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Hakol Barachamim Rabim Somech Nopim Berofei Choem Umatir Atzurim Umekayim Emunato Lishene Afor Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gurot Umi Domech Loch Melech Memit Humatchaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'hadot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. We'll continue on page 130 in the middle. Let us sanctify your name on earth, as it is sanctified in the heavens above. As is written by your prophet, Holy, holy, holy is Adonai Tzvaot. God's presence fills the whole earth.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, kakatuv al yad nevi'echa, v'kara ze'el zeh ve'amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech ol haaretz, kevodo. Adir, adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, ma'adir shimcha b'chol haaretz. Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshiachenu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayich Zion, ledor vador. Alleluia. Ledor vador nagid godlecha, ulnetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish, שבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני
We'll read together at the bottom of page 130. To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed art you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. בין ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לברית עולם.
Service continues on page 134. Service continues on page 134. Elohei v'Elohei avotenu, Yemotenu v'tzei b'nuchotenu, Kadshenu b'mitvotecha, v'tein chelkenu b'toratecha sab'enu, mituvdecha v'samchenu v'shu'atecha, v'tah helibenu la'avdcha v'emet v'chaneinu Adonai Eloheinu, b'hava uvratzon Shabbat, kadshachad v'yanochuch ba Yisrael, Mekadshe Shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Service continues on top of 135. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for holiness, and which inspires the sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in the darkness. For Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love, we offer thanks and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, B'amcha Yisrael u'tolatem, B'hava t'kabel u'tu'i le'aratzon, Tamid avodat Yisrael. Amecha, Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha lavadcha b'yirah na'avod. We'll read responsibly. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to life, to peace, to joy.
May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah.
Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness and restrain our thirst for excess and cleanse our hearts to serve life well.
On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer in life, in peace, and in joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha lavadcha b'yirah na'avod. Continue on page 139, responsively. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us up with awe and changing our imaginations. Modum anachnu lach.
For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons,
Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. Modim anachnu lach.
For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression.
Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and holy noble causes, for faith and without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modem anachnu lach.
For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. Modim anachnu lach.
Lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim anachnu lach.
Not by our words, but by our deeds.
Blessed art you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha le'ulcha no'er l'hodot. Continue on page 141. We often pray for what we have never known, and humanity has never known. Unbroken peace, unmixed blessing, no. Better to pray for pity, for indignation, discontent, the will to see and touch, the power to do good and make new. Baruch atah Adonai, Mamarir et Amo Yisrael, Bashalom.
Shalom, Tova, Uracha.
We come to a special moment in our worship service where we pause from the reading of the words on the page and singing the melodies with our cantor so that we might instead listen to the words of our hearts and our melodies of our souls. To bring us into this time of quietude and reflection, I share this thought. Take time. Take time to listen to the birds, to listen to the waves, to listen to the wind. Take time. Take time to breathe in the air, to breathe in the earth, to breathe in the ocean. Take time. Take time to be still, to be silent, to allow God to fill you up with deep peace and with deep love. And so we pause. We continue with the service to prepare us for the reading of the Torah this morning on this Shabbat morning. It's a special opportunity to read from the Torah, to hear the Torah read. I am grateful that this morning it is our Bar Mitzvah boy who gets to read from the Torah. We want to invite a number of folks up to assist with us in this part of our service. In a moment, I would like Steve Lavoot and Howard Lavoot, Raymond Schreier, and Marty Zwern to join us on the bima. As well, I invite Joan Lieb, Rhonda Zwern, and Sandy Schreier. As they make their way forward, I invite us all to rise as we are able.
It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Ted, as part of the Bar Mitzvah experience, we get to pass you the Torah to the generations that have come before you. In this case, it's a little broken in the chronology because your son is there, and that's good. We want your son to be there. Normally, we don't have a Bar Mitzvah boy who has a son. And so we are grateful that you do have a son, and that your son is able to be with you here and to be part of this process. In addition, all the other family members who gather between the Torah and you. In a moment, we will pass this Torah. This is a very special Torah for our congregation. This was an orphaned Torah. It had survived the Shoah, but the community that had once read from it, once celebrated with it, had perished, were murdered by the Nazis, so it had no home to go to. Indeed, at the end of World War II, a warehouse was discovered in Prague that had over 2,500 Torah scrolls that had no home to go to. The Great Synagogue in London acted as the orphanage, and Jewish congregations around the world adopted these orphaned Torah scrolls, thus giving that community life in a new home. This Torah is indeed a very special Torah to us. It is still wearing its holiday garb as we are between Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and the holiday of Sukkot. And because it is a Holocaust orphan Torah, its dress is reminiscent of the uniforms worn by our inmates in the concentration camps. And in particular, Ted, given your family's history, both with regards to the Shoah, having survived and having lost some in the Shoah, it is a special privilege that we are able to pass this Torah down the generations to you.
Shama דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד.
We may be seated. I invite Ted's daughter-in-law, Penny Lavoot, for a special presentation.
Ted, it's my honor and privilege to give you this yod. It has a pointer at the top, and it's to help you keep your place in the Torah since you can't touch it with your hands. So I know you'll do well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Penny. To introduce the Torah reading, I invite Raymond Schreier to join us on the bima.
Torah introduction. One of the major components of a Jewish worship service is the reading of the Torah, the 5 books of Moses. The Torah is divided into portions, so the Torah is read in its entirety each year. This week, the Torah portion is called Ha'azun. It is found in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31. The book of Deuteronomy is set in the time immediately preceding Moses' death. The Israelites whom he has led for the past 40 years are poised to enter the promised land. They are encamped on the plateau of Moab, to the east of Jericho, across the river Jordan. The poem of warning introduced in the previous portion is read aloud to the Israelites. Moses calls upon heaven and earth to witness his words. Moses begins by praising God and describing the special care God has given Israel. In response, the people have spurned God and God's laws. Because of Israel's unfaithfulness, they will suffer God's wrath. Ultimately, God will show mercy to the Israelites and deliver them from their enemies. Moses tells the people to take the warning he has recited very seriously. Israel's observance of God's laws is no trifling matter. These laws are the essence of their lives. The portion closes with God directing Moses to ascend to Mount Nebo and to look to the land promised to the Israelites. Moses is told that he will die on the mountain.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you very much. I know that you can't quite see it, but we are nearing the very, very end of the Torah reading. I mean, this is it. This is the very end. Ha'azinu, almost the last Torah portion. The last Torah portion we will read next week as we celebrate Simchat Torah. This week's Torah portion, again, Ha'azinu. We have the opportunity to invite Ted to share in the blessings. Yamod, Yamod, Yamod. Tuvia ben Mordechai Halevi v'chava la'aliyah Torah. We invite our Bar Mitzvah, Ted Lavoot, for the Aliyah, the blessing before the reading of the Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai haborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai haborach leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bocha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
I have my own yard. I saw that last week. Everybody that came up to the bima, the rabbi attempted to give him his yard, and he said, no, we have our own.
It's becoming a tradition. Our bar mitzvah people do get, a bar bat mitzvah do get their own yad with which to read the Torah.
Okay? Umut voha asher atah aleh shema voha esef al amecha ka'asher made Aharon Ozika Bahar Haor Yosef Al Amecha Al Asher Maltem Bi Bechoch B'nei Yisrael B'nei Merbat Kedoshim Modem Mirdim Midbar Sin Al Asher Lo Kedoshem Otoi Betoch B'nei Yisrael Chi Neged Ha'er Et Ha'aretz V'Shamar Lo Shavo Al Ha'aretz Asher Ani Notain Livnei Yisrael.
And God said to Moses, and you will die on the mountain that you are going to ascend, and there you will be gathered to your people, just as your brother Aaron died on Mount Hor and was gathered to his people on account of what took place what took place with the children of Israel there at the waters of contention in Kadesh in the wilderness of Sin, where you did not uphold my sanctity amidst the children of Israel. And so because of that, you are not going to be able to enter the land that I have promised to give to the children of Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Your yard, sir. We wish to invite a couple people to assist with the redressing of the Torah. Terry Lavoot, Bubby Meisler, and Penny Lavoot. Or is that Bobby? Sorry, not Bubby, Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah, that would be Bobby. Bobby Meisler and Penny Lavoot, as well as Steve Lavoot, to assist in holding the Torah. If you four will please make your way towards the bima, and as they make their way forward, I invite us to rise as we are able.
Asher Sam Moshe, Livnei Benai
We may be seated. With the Torah in our midst, it is a duty, an obligation, an opportunity for us to hear the Torah read and to read from the Torah. We know that there are those, perhaps even in our midst, who are facing challenges to their health and their well-being, others whose challenges have kept them from hearing the Torah this morning. And so we include them in our special blessing, our Misha Berach, our prayers for healing. The blessing can be found on page 253 in your prayer books. And I invite you during the musical interlude between the paragraphs to share aloud the name of a loved one who is in need of encouragement, one who is in need of hope and healing. Thus we might bring them here into the space and into our hearts at this time. May all who are facing challenges to their health and their well-being, their bodies, their minds, may they be blessed on their journey, a journey that will bring them to a refuah shlema, a return to the wholeness they desire, the shalom, the peace that they deserve. Baruch atah Adonai rofei hacholim. We praise you, O God, who helps us bring hope and healing to those who are in need. And let us say, Amen. We continue with the reading of the Haftarah, and to introduce the reading of the Haftarah, I invite Heather Rold.
The custom of reading the Haftarah is quite old, though its beginnings can only be surmised. One theory suggests that when the Greek-Syrian rulers forbade the teaching of Torah over 2,000 years ago, readings from the prophets were read instead. The selection was determined by a thematic link between the weekly Torah portion and that of the prophets. The Torah portion brings us Moses' farewell song to the children of Israel. But in the Haftarah from 2 Samuel chapter 22 contains a song by David. It must be noted that the words to David's song is also found in Psalm 18. This Haftarah opens with David's prayer after he was delivered from his enemies, especially then King Saul, who sought his life. The last portion of this prayer depicts David as one whose rule is firmly established and whose battles are behind him. The setting of this song, however, is before David assumes the throne. Biblical interpreters suggested that, although David composed this prayer at the end of his life, the sense of being saved was so real that it was as if it happened yesterday. The two-part book of Samuel includes the story of Samuel's long service as military leader, judge, and prophet during the later part of the 11th century BCE. In it, we read of the rising and falling of King Saul, King David, and later his son, King Solomon.
I invite our Bar Mitzvah, Ted Lavoot, to lead us in the blessing before the reading of the Haftarah and the Haftarah that we just heard about.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bocha benvin tovim ratzah b'reihem v'nehamarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai Babocher hato batorah u'Moshe habdo v'Yisrael amo v'nihem ve'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Vayedaber David la'Adonai et divrei hashirah hazot b'yom hizil Adonai oto mikaf kol oivav umid kaf Shaul. Vayomer Adonai v'sa'ali u'mitzulotati ultalti li. Elohei tzuri ese bo mogini v'keren yishii mishgadbi umnosi moshii mechamos to she'eni. Chai Adonai v'orich tzuri v'yarem Elohei tzur yishii. Ho'el hanotein v'nakamot li umrorid amim. Tachteni u'motzi'ei me'ova mekamai b'torah menu me'ish chas ma'asim tatzli'enu. Al kain O odcha Adonai begoyim ul shimcha hazmer migdol yeshuatot malko va'oteh chesed lim shicho ledovid ul zar or ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Tzur kol halamim, tzadik v'chol hados, o'el ne'eman, o'omer, o'oseh ma'ader, kayim shekol devorek emet, pod tzedek, al torah, v'al havdovdah, v'al ani'im, v'al yom ha'shabbat, hazeh shenatata, lanu Adonai Elohecha, Eloheinu, l'kedusha, lemuncha, lechavod, uletztifa erev, al hakol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modech loch, rachem, otam, toch, yitzbarach, yishimcha, befi, chol, choy, tamid, leolam, voed, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-shabbat. Speech? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I got to pull out 20 pages first. First of all, is there anybody here who was at my first Bar Mitzvah?
Your brother.
Raise your hand.
He's holding the Torah.
Okay. He was a 9-year-old at my first Bar Mitzvah. thought that would get him. One witness. Needed two, but I only have one. As Moses led the children of Israel into the desert, I believe I led my family in an adventure across the United States to California. I started my journey by joining the U.S. Navy, receiving an electronic background which formed my future endeavors. At boot camp in Bainbridge, Maryland, then to Airman School in Norman, Oklahoma, and the fence was this high next to Oklahoma University. On to Aviation Electronics School in Memphis, Tennessee, and I met a friendly of my mother's. She was a classmate who was living there, and she introduced me to the Jewish community. I was a member of the Navy Memphis Choir, and they called me back. You know, they sent out a notice saying, anybody that had served in the Navy choirs, please come to Washington. I haven't gone there yet. That's true. And I even met Elvis Presley before he made it big. He said we were dating, and my friend and I were at Shoney's downtown after a presentation of the choir. And in comes this entourage, 6 guys walking in the parking lot. And the girl turns to us and said, "This is my cousin, Elvis Presley. Glad to meet you." We turn to the women. Taps us on the shoulder and he says, "I'm Elvis Presley." "Yeah, I heard you." This is in the days before he made it big. Upon graduation, I was sent to HU-2 Helicopter Squadron at Lakehurst, New Jersey, as a third-class petty officer, so I was a step above an airman. The airship Hindenburg crashed there in 1937, and I was given the opportunity with my alumni group to put up an HU-2 plaque and a new Hindenburg memorial plaque. We even met with the son of the German pilot. I volunteered for my first mission aboard the aircraft carrier Coral Sea to the Mediterranean as a Hilo Air Sea Rescue. This was the days before the rescue swimmer. I was there during the 1956 Suez Crisis. We stopped the British, we stopped the French, we stopped the Israelis in action. We had 2 carriers, 2 cruisers. We airlifted American personnel from Egypt and Israel, and it was my first time that I put my foot down in Israel. I've been to Israel on technical business and attending a B'nai B'rith international meeting, and even meeting Teddy Kollek and Golda Meir. I remember. During this cruise, I made 3 rescues, the last being the most dangerous. I dropped the sling, because the plane took off, catapulted, and he never gained altitude, and he flat pancaked. I dropped the sling, and the pilot was injured, and he couldn't get into the sling, so my pilot, Lieutenant Cronin, said, "You know what you got to do, Ted? Go in, get him." I cut him out of his parachute, brought him back to the helo, and my reward was a thank you from a shot of whiskey from the flight surgeon. I don't know who I rescued. In 2014, 58 years later, I received the Navy Marine Corps Medal for Heroism, and that's between the Bronze and the Silver Star, for successful life-saving at sea. I still remember the action, and I've been searching for this pilot and haven't found him yet. Even made the front page of the Orange County Register, hometown Patriot Ledger, and the Sun. Anybody watching from Massachusetts, you can go online. Upon returning to home base, I was promoted to second-class petty officer. And because of my rescue, and I had 4,400 eyesight, should have never been flying, should have never been at sea, but I was there. I had junior life-saving training at summer camps, and I got contact lenses, and I was cleared to fly, and no one else in the squadron with glasses was allowed to fly again. So I had passed, because I said to my skipper, I said, this is what it was. And he opened up the book and he says, "That's okay, Ted. Continue to fly." And I continued to get air flight finances. So that really helped. My next mission, we lost the only other Jewish kid in the squadron. His name was Abraham Spector. He was unsuccessful aboard the aircraft carrier Randolph, which was going with us. He tried the same thing, only he didn't cut the pilot out of the chute. The parachute wrapped around both him and the pilot, and they had to drag him across the destroyer, and they cut him loose. So Alan Spector, the older brother, if you're out there, go get your brother's Navy Marine Corps Medal for Heroism, because it was allowed for successful and unsuccessful, and that's back in Pennsylvania. My next mission was aboard the battleship Wisconsin. We passed through the Panama Canal twice, and I went over the equator as a polywog. That's a person that's never crossed the equator by boat. All the crew, and even the admiral, had to go through the ritual. But today it's called hazing. And if you don't have to do it, and if you don't do it, you don't get the card. Terry came back from a cruise, and she came back with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that said she crossed the equator. I went and got my plaque, and she put hers away. I asked her what was your ritual. She said, well, it was hors d'oeuvres, champagne. That's not what we had. It was garbage. We had to crawl through that stuff. We visited the naval base at Guantanamo Bay, and then we returned to Havana, Cuba, with our Temple Beth Ohr. I was transferred to HU-2 in Norfolk. It was a small detachment around the high holidays, and immediately I contacted the Jewish community. Guess who I met? I met Terry at the largest Jewish USO in the country, and immediately asked to be on her dance card. And it's been a lifetime dance. My next mission was aboard the communication cruiser Northampton, back to the Med, off of Mallorca for a 6th Fleet Command exchange. They changed in ceremony. And upon return, I was promoted to a first-class petty officer. My last mission was aboard the aircraft carrier Intrepid, the one in New York Harbor. It was to Northern Europe and England, and I was able to attend the Brussels World's Fair, and I returned 54 years later to help guide her from the New Jersey maintenance to the new berth at New York City. I was chosen by lottery over 30,000 former crewmen to be a flag bearer aboard the carrier. And Terry followed a couple of miles behind us, the family, in a family cruise boat. My 4-year enlistment was up, and I was transferred to Navy Reserves. I did not accept OCS, Officer Candidate School. I had the GI Bill, Korean GI Bill. Terry and I went to Northeastern University in Boston as a married couple for 5 years. I cooperative at EG&G, a nuclear company, and while working for the Big E, Dr. Edgerton, if you've ever seen the high-speed photography and the milk drop around, that was Doc. And oceanography detection. Why would I be interested in oceanography detection? We met Jacques Cousteau, a personal friend of the Doc. At EG&G, I worked on this last South Pacific atomic testing in 1962, and that was the same time as the Cuban Missile Crisis. Living behind Symphony Hall, we could hear Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops for free when they practiced. While marketing, and Terry is not a football fan, Terry won the first year of the New England Patriots season's tickets while shopping at the Shawmut Market. The season's tickets were Old Braves Field at Boston University on the 50-yard line. They had no seats, no backings. She was 7 months pregnant with Howard, and she said, "I'm through." You and your father and your brother can go to the rest of the games. I served as vice president of the Electrical Honor Society and now a life member of IEEE. That's the International Electrical and Electronic Engineering Society. And upon graduation, I received my BSEE. We interviewed, and I say we, not I, Terry was part of the interview. We interviewed several companies east of the Mississippi. And we chose a telephone interview with Autonetics, the division of North American Aviation in Anaheim. We were very slow. It took us 8 weeks to travel cross country because Terry said, I want to see this, I want to see this, and I want to see this. And we saw friends and sightseeing along the way. And just like Moses went further to the promised land, we went to California. For over 50 years, we, and I say we, have served several philanthropic organizations, many in leadership positions, B'nai B'rith, Hillel, Jewish National Fund, the Anti-Defamation League, the Orange County Jewish Community Center, the National Jewish Welfare Board. I even got a call last week commemorating my birthday from New York. And along the way, the Jewish War Vets, life member, American Legion life member, and currently active in National 10-Pit Bowling, and that wasn't my primary. My primary was Candlepin back in Boston. When we got here, Howard says, where's the little balls? I said, we left them in Boston. You'll have to learn how to bowl with the big balls. He did. He passed me. We befriended two groups of 6 Israeli airmen at Gould Electronics with room and board while they were going through navigation and communication training. Menachem Perry was one of the first group. He attended law school and then told his mother he didn't want to be a lawyer. Oh, that went over like a ton of bricks. He wanted to be a TV, radio personality. And he did. He succeeded. Everybody knows Menachem in Israel, and if anybody in Israel is watching, including you, Menachem, shalom. We visited him and his actress wife, Nuritz, 3 times, in 74, 85, and 2010. I did something unusual. I went through Ancestry.com, and I became my relationship with the Lubavitch Rabbi Menachem Schneerson through my relative, Rabbi Avraham David Lavoot, and this was confirmed by the local Chabad rabbi. And it's one of your rabbis there, Mel, that said, I agree, you are related. I retired from Northrop Grumman as a senior program manager on the B-2 stealth bomber, and I got my big bomber out there. I received the Senior Engineering Program Manager Award of the Year. And when my company closed out his offices in here in the local area there, I interviewed with Northrop, and they said, you've got the value, but you cost too much. You've heard that before. You cost too much. So I went to the person who had led me in, and I said, this is what happened. I said, I'd like a meeting with HR. I'll come in within your range, and I know that they have a special fund separate from salary. I'll give me a bonus if I last 1 year. I lasted 17 years, and I got bonuses every year. My vice president, Lou Israelite, and Dolly Church can confirm that, but they aren't able to make it today. Approaching my 83rd birthday, I thought about a second bar mitzvah, and here I am, Hineni. Also coming up, 60 years of marriage to my love, Terry. My son has been very active in organizations and also brought us a shining penny, and her daughter, Heather. Howard and Penny recently celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. In Moses' time, 40 years was monumental. Today it's 80 plus. Moses did not lead us into the promised land, but he did not give up. He continued guiding the Israelites, as I hope I project the same for the Jewish community according to the Psalm 70 plus 10 plus 13. Looking back at all my lifetime decisions coming to fruition, my connection with the Jewish community, 50 years here at Temple Beth Ohr this year, has led me to stand here today. And with a special thanks to Rabbi Mark Goldfarb, and a thank you to all my relatives and friends, including those who are watching, for sharing this special day with me. Both today and both yesterday and today are currently on the YouTube, and you can bring up the ceremony both per the talents of Phil Carey. And thank you, Phil. Great job. Where are you going? Washington. Oh. Are you taking Susan with you? No. Okay. You're leaving her here? Okay. Shalom.
We're going to return the Torah to the Ark. I invite us to turn in our prayer books to page 256. Page 256. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai ki nishkav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. I invite us to rise as we are able. Responsively on the bottom of page 257. When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The whole Torah exists only to establish peace. That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are true guardians of civilization. Let us learn in order to teach. Let us learn in order to do. We may be seated. Ted, if you will stand here for a moment, the cantor and I wish to share if you'll turn and face us. So you can face the open ark behind us. We wish to share with you a very special blessing. Words that come from Torah, words spoken by Moses and Aaron as they blessed the Israelites. yourself blessed and protected by God. May you know you live in God's presence all of your days, and may your heart be filled with compassion. Come to see the face of God in the world around you, in the eyes of your beautiful wife, your family, your friends, the whole world. And may you always know shalom, peace. Ted, it was a special treat for me. Gather all your belongings here. It was a special treat for me to have the opportunity to work with you for this special moment. Again, usually I'm working with 13-year-olds, and what do they know about life? And here I have a chance to meet with not only a war hero, but someone with yichus and connections that transcend space and time, cultures, religions. I mean, from Elvis Presley to Menachem Schneerson. I mean, that's quite a spectrum. There are very few people, I think, can say that they have connections in all of those realms. And so, Ted, it was truly an honor to work with you. And unlike our 13-year-olds, I didn't have to do a whole lot of work with you on the Hebrew. You've maintained that very well over the years. We have a number of special presentations we would like to make to you in honor and recognition of this morning. I invite our congregational president, Dina Jastrock. I invite from Brotherhood, David Sane. No, I invite from Brotherhood, Ted Singer. And from Sisterhood, I am inviting Karen Sane.
Ted, all I can say is wow. I'd say I'm proud of you, but that would be silly and an understatement. I still remember our trip to Israel in 2010 that was special on Veterans Day and honoring our American veterans along with the Israeli veterans and being so humbled by what you have done. Today, you did it again. Mazel tov. I'm proud of you. I know your family is, and it was wonderful to be able to be here and share it with you. But it would not be complete if we did not have our official Temple Beth Ohr Bar Mitzvah certificate. So here you are certifying that Ted Lavoot was called to Torah as a Bar Mitzvah again on Saturday, October 12th, 2019. Mazel tov. We have one more presentation. In your honor, a tree has been planted in Israel. You will get the official certificate in the mail from JNF.
What day do I want?
I was going to say you can pick whatever day you'd like to water it. Mazel tov.
Thanks, dear.
Thank you for sharing this day with us.
Ted, first of all, thank you for your service to our country and for saving lives. You can't, do anything more in life that's greater than that. And the only two differences I see between your bar mitzvah now and before is that you're a little older and that you have a beard. And I have to, listen, I didn't come up with that. I have to give credit where the credit's due, and that's David Sane. He gave me the line to feed to you. But typically, we will have a cup from Temple Beth Ohr to give to the Bar Mitzvah boy. And you can drink coffee or tea or anything harder if you like to enjoy. But again, I want to wish you the best and good health to you and your family.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
So as a, let's see, I am the recording secretary of Sisterhood. So as a member of Sisterhood, I would like to present you, we too are planting a tree in your honor, and the certificate will come later on. So it really is an honor because, as I understand, this is the first time Sister has done this to a Bar Mitzvah gentleman. And it is an honor. I too remember being in Israel with you in 2010, but I remember Terry giving us Halloween candy on the plane. But I too remember being at the War Memorial for Veterans Day, because you are a veteran, as my husband is. So this is a great honor for me today. Mazel tov to you. You did a wonderful job.
What she's referring to is that in the Battle of Jerusalem, they call it Ammunition Hill, and veterans are honored with their plaque along a big wall, and that's what she is referring to, and I'm on that wall.
We had gathered there as a group on Veterans Day and honored not only our veterans, but some of our spouses of veterans who have since died. I've got one more special presentation for you. Actually, it's two presentations. There are a group of family members who were very proud of your adult bar mitzvah. Namely, and so they have purchased two Tree of Life trees that we will proudly display on our hallway Tree of Life. It says, Theodore Lavoot, congrats on your adult bar mitzvah. Cousins, Angel?
Engel.
Guanaki. I hope I'm Guanaki? Guanchi. Thank you. Sorry about that. Zwern and Stevens. Also, Theodore Lavoot, Mazel Tov on your adult bar mitzvah from cousins Joan Lieb, Rhonda, and Martin Zwern. So we've got two leaves that are going to go on our Tree of Life in the hallway commemorating this special occasion for you. We will post those with you. We'll pick out a spot. We will do that perhaps even today or this evening and get these up right away. Okay. Mazel Tov to you, Ted, on all of your accomplishments and for sharing with us your journey. Like the Israelites who journeyed, it was not always a smooth and bumpless road. You faced your bumps, you faced your potholes, and we are honored to be able to share with you and Terry this very special day. And I invite you to once again take a seat. Actually, our cantor, is that okay?
Yeah, you can say.
If you would like to sit, our cantor has a song of blessing for you as well. And if you would like to remain standing or seat, your choice. Okay.
This is usually the part where I say, oh, I've known them since they were this big. So this is a little different for me. But Ted, thank you ever so much for allowing me to be part of this day along with your friends and family. It is such an honor to have heard your journey and everything that you have done, which is just a drop in the bucket of your life. And it has been such a joy to hear everything that you have experienced and how far you have gone in life, literally across the world, but also just your journey as a human being and something that we can all aspire towards. So thank you so much, and thank you for leading our congregation today. It was incredible to hear you and to see you in this role. I've only known you for as long as I've been at Temple Beth Ohr, and it is a pleasure to see you in this role. So thank you so much. It is the tradition at Temple Beth Ohr for the cantor to give the gift of song. So I have one of our traditional songs for our bar mitzvah students as a blessing to you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world
Now you can take a break and have a seat if you'd like. But don't get too comfortable, it's only a short set. Again, after the conclusion of our worship service, Ted will lead us in Kiddush and Motzi here. We will allow Ted and his family to recess first from our sanctuary into our social hall, where we are invited to share in a Kiddush reception, an opportunity to gain some fortification with some food, and to, of course, greet Ted and Terry and congratulate them on this wonderful occasion. We come to the conclusion of our worship service with the words of our Aleinu. The adoration can be found on page 282 in our prayer books. On the bottom of page 282, I invite us to rise as we are able for the words of our adoration. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, those who live on in our hearts, in our memories, and in the place we call Olam Haba, the world to come. The words to our Kaddish can be found on page 294. As we call to mind those for whom we are observing the Shloshim, the 30 days since their death, Catherine O. Salisbury, the mother of Shaul Salisbury, Don Kessler, the husband of Joyce Kessler, Paula Marcus, sister of Eddie Goldstein, and Eric, Sandra, and Michael Lertzman, son-in-law, daughter, and grandson of Betty Maddock. And our hearts go out to those of you who have suffered the death of loved ones in these last days. To those names, we link the names of those whose yahrzeits we observed during this Shabbat: Howard Babroff, Lillian Dean, Sylvia Friedman, Herman Globerman, Clara Moss, Danny Leeson, Meyer S. Mink, Stella Zunzer, Mildred Reese, Felicia Rosenfeld, Hyman Siegel, Henry Stern, and Herman Altman. To those names, we link the names of those for whom we are observing the Kaddish period: Lois Kaufman, Joyce Glassman, Pamela Novak, Dr. Stephen Waldman, Dr. Fred Bergerson, Adele Schloss, Madge Evelyn Tatum Lenegro, Shirley Grossberg, Shirley Altenew, Muriel Balaban, Nick Scotto, Inga Spiegel, Adrienne Casson, Florence Sachs, Cam Craig, Annette Raymond, Irving Drobny, Bernard Beskin, Nancy Zinberg, and Howard Brookfield. If there is a loved one whom you are remembering, I invite you to share that name at this time. To those that we have named aloud, and to those that we keep named in the quiet places of our hearts and memories, we link as well the names and memories of the men and women of our armed forces who have given their lives for our liberties and our freedoms. those who have given their lives for our safety here at home, members of our police and our firefighters, especially at this time of year, and other first responders. And of course, the members of the Israeli Defense Forces who have given their lives for the hope of peace. Zichronam levracha. May their memories always be for a blessing as we share together the words of our Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei d'kudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushmechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May all of us who mourn and all of us who are bereaved, may we find through God's eternal presence a source of strength, courage, and hope, above all a source of shalom, of peace. And let us all say, Amen. We conclude this morning with the singing of those final words from the Kaddish, Oseh shalom b'mromav. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens give us the strength and the courage to make peace here in this world and in our lifetime. And I invite the wife of the Bar Mitzvah boy to come and to join her husband here on the bima. I invite us to put our arms around the shoulder of someone next to us, hold the hand of someone who needs to remain seated as we form for ourselves a link of shalom to take us into the week ahead. Oseh shalom.
I would just like to say that we migrated here, and I see a number of people that the last time they stood on a bima with us at this temple were my cousins, and that was when Howard and Penny got married here. So it's been 25 years since some of them have actually been in this place, and I am delighted to see the realm of Ted's colleagues, friends, and people that we've crossed paths with in over 50 years that we've lived here. I really didn't want to come to California. I thought it was going to be terrible taking me away from my cousins and my aunts and my uncles, because we were a really heavily cohesive family. And it took a long time for me to adjust. But once we joined this temple, we found family, we found super friends. And as I say, the people who are here today cover a lot of territory for us. People we worked with, people that we traveled with, people from here in the temple, City of Hope. I mean, all of the things that we've participated in. So I thank all of you for joining us this date and sharing this event with us and with our family. And to my family, this created quite a memorable event for us. Thank you. I didn't think I would.
Thank you, Terry. No, it's customary for all
Bar mitzvah mothers to cry, wives to do it.
those who are proud of their bar mitzvah boy to cry. It is appropriate. Ted, if you will lead us in our Kiddush, please.
This is Jews.
It's Jews, okay.
Yes, it's Jews. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei beri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
Thank you for listening.
You can offer a drink to your bride.
We also thank our friends in Florida who watched last night, might be watching today. We're using the Kiddush cup you sent. Thank you.
Ted, if you'll take a piece of challah. Terry as well. Cantor, if you will lead us in the Motzi, Ted.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avo.
With that, Ted and Terry, I invite you to lead the procession to the social hall for the reception.
Okay.
Mazel tov, we say.
Mazel tov.
Mazel
Do you
tov.
want to take your towels off here? Leave it? Yeah. I think you're going to need new ones of these.
Okay, off you go. Steve,
Very well done.
thank you very
Enjoyed
much.
it.
Shabbat shalom to
I'm
you.
not going to see you next time.